Studies show it takes the average man 6 months to spot a woman's true intentions, but by then, he's usually already caught in the web. There's a reason why Sigma males seem immune to these tactics, not because they're smarter or more experienced, but because they process red flags differently. While most men rush to explain away their gut feelings, these quiet observers trust their instincts from day one. Dr. Anna Wesley's research revealed something chilling. The most effective manipulation doesn't feel like manipulation at all. It feels like care, concern, and connection. This is where most men's natural protective instincts fail them. They're looking for obvious threats, while subtle ones slip right past their defenses. Think about your last relationship that went south. Were there signs you ignored? Little moments that made you uneasy but you pushed aside? Patterns you only saw clearly after it was over? That's not a coincidence. That's programming at work. When manipulation meets observation, something interesting happens. These quiet men don't fight back. They don't make accusations. They don't even let on that they've noticed. They do something entirely different, something that turns the whole game upside down. Let's explore 6 reasons why Sigma males never get caught in these traps, and what they do instead that leaves sneaky women completely blindsided. Number 1. They pretend to be fooled just to see what she does next. That sinking feeling in your gut when things don't add up. The way your mind tries to explain away those coincidences that keep stacking up. For Sigma males, these aren't just random doubts. They're signals their subconscious picked up long before their conscious mind caught up. When a woman starts getting sneaky, these men use an unusual strategy. They let her think she's getting away with it. While most guys either explode with accusations or doubt themselves into silence, a Sigma's response triggers an interesting human pattern. People who think they're fooling you often fool themselves instead. It's interesting how this plays out. Each little test, each twisted story, each hidden agenda becomes more obvious over time. His calm acceptance makes her think she's winning, never realizing he's collecting evidence with every move she makes. Sigma males see deception like invisible ink that only shows up under the right light. So they provide that light, letting her write her own story while they read between the lines. Not from trickery, but from a need to see the full picture before making his move. The deepest insights often come when people think no one's watching. While she crafts her performance, he's already seen the rehearsal notes. Because sometimes, the best way to understand someone isn't to question their act. It's to watch how long they can keep it running. Number 2. They don't threaten to leave. They just do it. Most people warn before they walk away. They argue, they plead, they make it clear that if things don't change, they're gone. But here's the problem. Threats only work if the other person believes them. And manipulators, they don't. They hear warnings as just another round of negotiation. That's why Sigma males skip that step entirely. There's no heated discussion, no dramatic farewell speech. They don't beg to be treated right. They don't explain why they're leaving. They just disappear. One day, everything seems fine. The next, they're nowhere to be found. No second chances, no back and forth, just silence. But they don't do this for dramatic effect or to get a reaction. They do it as a last resort when they've reached their limit and have no other options. This is what makes their exit hit differently. A manipulator expects a fight. She expects to be able to twist words, shift blame, or play on emotions to get him to stay. But when there's nothing to argue about, when he's just gone, she's left with something far worse than anger: uncertainty. Did he figure her out? Did he ever care at all? Will he come back? She doesn't get answers, and that's what stings the most. Because for the first time, she's not the one in control. And by the time she realizes what happened, it's already too late. The Sigma male has moved on, without a single word and without looking back. Number 3. They give her space just to watch where she runs. People show their true colors when they think no one is watching. It's easy to act one way when someone is always around, paying attention. But what happens when the spotlight is gone? That's when the real person steps forward. So instead of clinging too tightly or demanding answers, Sigma males do the opposite. They step back, creating distance, not to push her away, but to see what she does with the freedom. Does she stay close, proving her loyalty? Or does she run straight into someone else's arms? Does she use the space to reflect, or does she use it as an opportunity to play games? Most manipulators hate this move. They expect a reaction. They expect questions, jealousy, and insecurity. But when none of that comes, when he simply allows her to be, she has to make a choice. And that choice reveals everything. The Sigma male doesn't chase, beg, or demand explanations. He just watches. If she respects the connection, she won't betray it. If she was only there for control, she'll expose herself without him having to lift a finger. Either way, he gets his answer. And by the time she realizes she was being tested, it's already over. He's not interested in explanations, just the truth. And once he sees it, there's no going back. Number 4. They make themselves unpredictable. Predictability is a manipulative woman's best friend. When she knows what you'll do next, she can plan her moves ahead of time. She knows which buttons to push, which words to say, and exactly how to get the reaction she wants. That's why Sigma males refuse to play by a script. They change it up, they throw curveballs, and they keep her guessing. But only when it's necessary. They don't do it to be difficult or to play games themselves. They do it when they sense that she's trying to control them. They don't follow patterns, and they definitely don't give easy answers. This keeps her on edge, unsure of how to control the situation. A woman targeting a Sigma male will quickly realize she can't predict him. If she tries to make him jealous, he doesn't react. If she tries to guilt trip him, he doesn't take the bait. If she expects him to chase, he disappears instead. Every time she thinks she has him figured out, he switches things up. This unpredictability creates frustration. A manipulator needs control, but how can she control someone who doesn't respond the way she expects? How can she set traps when he never walks in a straight line? This constant uncertainty wears her down. She either gives up, realizing she has no power over him, or she reveals her true intentions in a desperate attempt to regain control. Either way, the Sigma male stays steps ahead, never letting himself be an easy target. Number 5. They mirror her energy. People show who they really are not by what they say, but by how they act. Words can be carefully chosen, but actions, those are harder to fake. That's why Sigma males don't waste time debating or demanding fairness, but they take a simpler approach. They match the energy they receive. If she's kind, supportive, and honest, he returns that energy effortlessly. He's present, engaged, and makes her feel valued. But if she starts playing games, being distant, or using manipulation, he doesn't argue about it. He just reflects it right back at her. This is where things get interesting. People who get sneaky tend to control the tone from the start. If they act cold, they expect the other person to chase. If they pull away, they assume the other person will panic and try harder. But a Sigma male doesn't do that. If she pulls away, he doesn't follow. He pulls away too. If she becomes distant, he mirrors that distance. And if she tests him with little mind games, he plays them better, but without saying a word. This drives her crazy. She expects control, not reflection. She wants to dictate how things go, not have her own behavior thrown back at her. And when she realizes her tricks aren't working, she starts to slip up. But Sigma male doesn't do this to be petty or vengeful. He does it because it saves time. If she respects him, the energy stays balanced. If she doesn't, she reveals herself without him ever having to ask. Either way, he gets his answer, and he never has to lift a finger to get it. Number 6. They watch how she treats others. A person's true nature isn't always obvious in how they treat you. It's hidden in how they treat everyone else. Most people are on their best behavior at the beginning of a relationship. They say the right things, act caring, and make sure to leave a good impression. But the mask always slips when they think no one is paying attention. That's why Sigma males don't just focus on how a woman treats them. They step back and observe. How does she act when she doesn't eat anything? How does she speak to the waiter when her order is wrong? Does she show kindness to people who can't offer her anything in return? Or does she only turn on the charm when it benefits her? The way she treats friends, strangers, and even her enemies tells the Sigma male everything he needs to know. If she's rude to a cashier but sweet to him, that's a warning sign. If she talks badly about her friends behind their backs, he knows she'll do the same to him one day. He doesn't need to get deep into a relationship before realizing who she really is. The signs are all there in the way she moves through the world. And once he sees them, things are never the same. Now, that doesn't mean Sigma males don't give people a chance. They understand that everyone has their flaws and past mistakes don't define someone's character. But they also know when to draw the line and walk away from someone who always complains and keeps that negative energy around them. They don't need that, and they won't tolerate it. If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel for more content on the Sigma personality and other related topics. Don't forget to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay strong and keep evolving.